You're listening to UCW Radio.
In your face.
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
You know what I mean?
Money to be made in a place like this.
Money never sleeps, pal.
You're crazy. Don't run when you lose. Don't whine when it hurts.
You know what it takes to sell real estate? It takes brass.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
All right, welcome to Money Never Sleeps. This is a show where we talk about anything and everything that impacts the flow of money from around the corner to around the world. And today we're talking about Bitcoin, cryptos, Tesla, Square, what's going on there with MicroStrategy and what's happening with these companies. And it's funny because you have, Tesla. They announced about a couple weeks ago that they invested 1.5, Elon Musk invested $1.5 billion into Bitcoin. Okay, Square's been doing it. MicroStrategy, they're doubling down on it when it came in. The bottom line is what's happening, and it's really interesting, is that investors, they're valuing or they're looking at these companies like, wow, Bitcoin goes and goes to the moon. These companies are going to be worth a lot of money. You got to understand something. They're buying it. It's staying on their books. Okay, just to understand a little bit about accounting and how the SEC looks at this. Later on when they liquidate, they'll create a material event, but on the books, and they're not buying it as an investment to profit later. And I'm assuming they're buying it for a reason, and those reasons will be revealed at some point in time. I have my thoughts about it, but again, it comes down to the utility of the crypto and how it can be utilized. But what these companies are doing, they're buying it, lays on their books as an intangible asset, sits there, and basically is based on their cost. Whatever they paid for it, that's what it sits on. It sits on their books as such. So if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, if they bought it at 50,000, that's their price point. That's the way it sits on the books. So don't expect these companies to go to the moon because Bitcoin is going to the moon. You can't do it. All these companies individually have a lot of value with what they do. Okay, Square, it has value. I just personally don't like how they do things. That's just a personal thing. I had bad experiences with them, so don't utilize them. But Tesla, a lot of values there, and a lot of value is going to be unlocked. Okay, and you have MicroStrategy. They have things going on there, but the investors are valuing them based on what they're buying. Understand that a crypto without a utility is what? Bitcoin itself has value because now it's a supply and demand issue. You have only so many that are going to be mined, and they're going to be out there, and people are biting or investors are biting for this because look, out of everything that's out there, you have a lot of them. I can't tell you the percentage because I don't know, but I'm going to say probably about 10, maybe 20% of all the coins that have ever mined are gone. Wallets are locked and everything else, and people forgot about it because at the time you can value them as a penny stock. Right now, it's not a penny stock, right? You're talking about 48, 50,000 a coin, and can it go higher? Sure, it can, but don't value these companies based on that. Because I don't think, and again, it's my view, I don't think they're buying it as an investment. They're buying it for what's going to happen in the future. And that, my friends, that is where that true value will be unlocked. And if they figure it out, you have smart people working it out, but if they figure it out, the value of Bitcoin is going to be unleashed, and it's going to, and certain other cryptos, only cryptos with utility. And that's the key thing. It's not just Bitcoin. Okay. Bitcoin is the most famous. It wasn't the first, not the last, but it's the most famous. It's the one that people, embraced. The bottom line is that value will be unlocked as they find the utility. Okay, and that utility is going to come. You have other cryptos that have utility, and this is where It needs to be. If you have cryptos with no utility, that's like having a car with no engine. Where's it going? What is it for? What is it for? It's just to look good, have a shiny little digital coin flipping around. You know, it's valueless. Okay, there has to be something there. It may not be there, but there has to be a plan of action of where it's going to be. How is that digital asset going to be of value at some point? That's the key thing. And if it's being used for something as a plan of action, then you have the value. Then you have the value, and then you can hang tight, because at some point that value is going to present itself, and all of a sudden it's going to be like, wow, I'm so happy that I stood with it, and I'm with it, and I'm benefiting from what's happening, and you're part of the future of what's going to happen. Okay, and I want to talk quickly about GameStop. You know, I said it when all this hoopla was happening with the Reddit and this and that and the little kitty cat guy. The bottom line is that GameStop itself, if they reinvent themselves, if they don't make the mistakes that Blockbuster made, they have the ability to come out stronger. There's value there. And I keep saying that. There's value there for it to be a greater company if they embrace the future. If they embrace, beyond them going and selling video games, what else are you going to do? Are they going to get into virtual reality? Are they going to start developing stuff themselves? Are they going to get and join the digital evolution of things? If so, the value is going to get unlocked. And again, that company will have its day. Okay, legitimately, not with all this hype and hoopla and pump and dump and all this other stuff. It's going to have true value. So I think that it's going to take time, but I think that the possibilities there. You'll have trading moments here and there, but when you're talking about something having value for the future, if that's a big if, the CFO just took a hike, he bailed. So again, what's going to happen now? I can't tell you. I just hope for the people that are involved, they do reinvent themselves. Okay, now closing out this episode, again, going back to cryptos, you have to look for the utility. Look for the utility. What is Tesla really going to do? Elon Musk was, talking about that dodgy coin and really hyping it up, and people are buying it. And I hear about it, and it's like, the thing was a joke when it came out. It was meant to be a joke, but then it became something more. And I'm telling you, if they find the utility with that, because it is a crypto, they find the utility, then there may be value there. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, whatever plans they have, I'm not privy to it, but it makes you think about what can happen. All right. Anyway, that's it. That's it for this edition of Money Never Sleeps. And again, when you're looking at Tesla, and you're looking at Square and companies that are invested in cryptos, don't base the value of the company based on what they have, what they invested in as far as cryptos, because on the books right now, it is an intangible asset and sits there based on what it was purchased for. Will the value come later? Yeah, again, I think that these companies invested in this for a reason, and that reason will present itself at some point in time. All right. Anyway, took up enough of your time. You guys have a great rest of the day and rest of the week, and I'll be back with you with another segment of Money Never Sleeps.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.
All opinions expressed by Luis Velazquez on the Money Never Sleeps radio show and its website are solely his opinions and do not reflect the opinions of the UCW radio show or their parent company or affiliates, and may have been previously disseminated by him on television, radio, internet, or another medium. You should not treat any opinion expressed by him as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of his opinion. His opinions are based upon information he considers to be reliable, but neither the UCW radio show nor its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries warrant its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. The UCW radio show, Luis Velazquez, its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries are not under any obligation to update or correct any information provided on the radio show or on the website. His statements and opinions are subject to change without notice. No part of his compensation from the UCW radio show is related to the specific opinions he expresses. Please read the full disclaimer on MoneyNeverSleepsRadio.com.